Was this divorce mutual? No, it was not mutual.
After 9 years, Bunnie XO finally told her side, and what she took from Jelly Roll says everything. 3 weeks after her divorce was announced to the world, Bunnie XO was photographed kissing another man at a bar in downtown Nashville. And not just any bar, Jelly Roll's bar. His name is on the building, and when the photos hit the internet, Jelly Roll's reaction was to shrug. No anger, no statement, because he knows something the internet does not. He knows what she took in their settlement and what she refused to take: a 3-house compound, a share of an aircraft, one single payment, not $1 of alimony from one of the biggest stars in country music, when she could have collected checks for the rest of her life. And she took one more thing, something no court on earth can divide, and it might be the strangest thing anyone has ever carried out of a celebrity divorce. Because after 9 years, Bunnie finally sat down at her own microphone and told her side of this story. And once you hear what she paid, you will understand exactly what she took. To understand what she took, you have to understand what she paid. So we need to go back to a Las Vegas concert in 2015. He was the opening act that night, warming up the crowd for a group called the Moonshine Bandits, a tattooed rapper from Nashville with a prison record, no label, and no money. She was a high-end escort in Las Vegas, a woman who had survived a brutal childhood and built a business in a world polite society pretends does not exist. In her memoir, Stripped Down, she described the moment they met, her exact words. Shaking his hand felt like every star in the sky collided. He invited her on tour. She went. 1 year later, in the middle of a Las Vegas show, Jelly Roll stopped the music, looked at her in front of the whole crowd, and said, quote, "Will your fine ass marry my white trash ass tonight in Las Vegas? Not next year, not next month, tonight." They were married that same night in a little Sin City chapel. Remember that chapel? It is coming back. Now here is the part the award show cameras never found. In those early years, Jelly Roll was not a star. He was a father fighting for custody of his daughter Bailey. With no money to fight, Bunnie paid the custody lawyer. Then she paid for a home near the school, so his daughter had somewhere to come home to. And in 2017, when he wanted to record an album called Addiction Kills, she financed that too, with money she earned in the industry she was still working in every week. The lawyer, the house, the album. The foundation of everything Jelly Roll thanks God for on stage was paid for by a woman the music industry would not look in the eye. And in 2018, he broke it. There was another woman, an ex from his past, and the marriage was barely 2 years old. Bunnie has since revealed the detail that made it worse, that at one point the other woman was waiting at a hotel just down the street. When Bunnie found out, they separated, and years later on her podcast, she admitted how far down that betrayal took her. She said it was the lowest point of her life, that she wanted to end it all. What happened next is the part almost nobody talks about. They went to counseling, and they gave the enemy a name: generational toxic traits. Two people raised in chaos, trying not to hand that chaos to each other. In 2025, Jelly Roll called the affair one of the worst moments of his entire life, and then said something worth remembering. Quote, "I did a lot of work to repair that relationship. The repair has been special." Hold on to that word, repair, because the next 7 years looked from the outside like the greatest comeback story in country music. And underneath it, something was quietly coming apart. In 2019, Bunnie launched a podcast called Dumb Blonde from her kitchen table, and it took off. By 2022, it was successful enough that she walked away from the old life completely, closed her accounts, and stepped onto her first red carpet with him at the CMA Awards. Jelly Roll put it in writing on his own Instagram, quote, "She didn't want to be just Jelly Roll's wife. She wanted to build her own empire." Meanwhile, Save Me and Son of a Sinner turned him from a Nashville secret into a national obsession. And in 2023, he walked out of the CMT Music Awards with 3 trophies. And that same year, he took her back to Las Vegas, same city, same chapel. 7 years after a wedding that cost almost nothing, they renewed their vows where it all started. And he posted, quote, "I may have never gave my wife the wedding she truly deserved, but I plan on giving her the life she deserves." Which brings us to the night that makes none of this add up. February 2026, the Grammy Awards. Jelly Roll wins, stands at the microphone in front of the entire industry, and thanks her, quote, "I would have never changed my life without you. I would have ended up dead or in jail." 3.5 months later, his lawyers filed for divorce. So what happened in those 3.5 months? According to Bunnie, the honest answer is that it took 1.5 years, not 3 months. They had been trying for a baby through IVF, and the process was grinding them both down. In August 2025, she told her listeners she had been on the medications for 6 months and called it one of the hardest things she had ever been through, while he quietly struggled with his own side of the diagnosis. She says the two of them simply went silent on each other. Her exact words: "We stopped communicating together in the past year and a half." And then the sentence that explains a decade: "I was always the chaser. She is a homebody who wanted quiet. He is a man who comes alive in front of an arena." And on Mother's Day 2026, all of it boiled over into one argument. And Bunnie, by her own account, looked at him and said, "Well, then file the divorce papers." She has said she spoke out of anger and pure exhaustion, that it was a challenge she never expected him to accept. He accepted it. 8 days later, the filing landed in Williamson County, Tennessee. Irreconcilable differences. The world found out on June 15th, and within days there were moving trucks photographed outside the Nashville home. The internet did what the internet does. She was called a gold digger by strangers, and the rumor mill even tried to attach her to Nickelback frontman Chad Kroeger, which she flatly denied. So she sat down at her own microphone and told her side. They were the couple that never argued, she said, and that was exactly the problem, because everything got held in until it curdled. She was asked if the split was really necessary. Her answer, quote, "Was it necessary for us to have a wake-up call? Absolutely." And then she said the line that reframes the whole marriage: "The proof is in the pudding. Look what we built." The divorce that gossip pages predicted would be a war was settled, in her words, in 2 or 3 weeks. They even signed a clause promising never to trash talk each other, ever. Which brings us back to that list. She took the 3-house compound, and her explanation tells you everything about where this man's head is. Quote, "Jay is so sweet that he's giving me that compound in the divorce because he knows how special it is to me." She took a share of the aircraft, she took one lump sum payment, and left the alimony line empty by her own choice. But the strangest asset was never written down because no judge on earth could award it. They are still having the baby. The surrogacy plan survived the marriage. Her words, quote, "We're going to raise our little nugget as one big happy family." And about the man she just divorced, quote, "He is my best friend. He's always been my best friend. I love that man more than life itself." Which brings us back to that kiss at his own bar. The man in the photos is a reality star named Dylan Wolf, and the internet braced for Jelly Roll to explode. He never did. He answered the way he had already answered a crowd from a stage on June 18th. Quote, "Nobody cheated on nobody. That will be my best friend forever." We cover divorces on this channel every single week, and we have never seen one end quite like this. So run the ledger one last time. In 2016, a woman with no safety net handed everything she had to a man the world had written off: a lawyer, a house, an album. In 2026, she walked away from his fortune with one payment, the home he wanted her to have, and a child they still plan to raise together. The woman who paid for the first album never sent him a bill. She kept the family and let the marriage go. Now we want to know where you stand. If you think turning down alimony was the strongest move Bunnie ever made, tell us in the comments, and tell us where you are watching from tonight. If you think she left money on the table that she earned 10 times over, we want to hear that too. Subscribe, because this story is not finished. There is a baby on the way, and a tour still running. And if you want to see what happens when a marriage ends the other way, the ugly way, our video on Ellen Nordegren and Tiger Woods is on your screen right now. Somewhere in Las Vegas, there is a chapel that has seen this couple twice. We would not bet against a third visit.